Nottoway Plantation in White Castle has been declared a total loss after a massive fire yesterday afternoon. Officials are now working to clear the remains of the historic site. Jordan Ponzio joins us live in Naperville Parish as that cleanup continues.
Brittany, it's now been over 24 hours since that fire started, and the fire marshal's office is here currently investigating the cause of that fire that completely destroyed the Nottoway Plantation mansion.
Goodness gracious, look at that inferno. That's pretty nasty, I gotta be honest. That's pretty nasty. I know there are some people who are genuinely okay and proud of this, but man, the people who are running this place, that's a devastating loss for sure. Believe it or not, the reason why we're bringing this discussion up anyways, our so-called friend of a haunted doll is now being blamed for this, being accused of actually being the cause of this fire. Let's see.
That fire started a little after 2 p.m. yesterday in the south wing of the mansion. 10 different fire departments responded to the fire. After the first couple of hours, it seemed that it was contained until high winds caused it to re-spark. I was out here this morning through around 1 o'clock, and the White Castle Fire Department were still dousing the structure with water as hot spots kept arising. I spoke with the parish president, Chris Daigle, today, who said the 166-year-old plantation did not stand a chance against this blaze.
An old facility like this is that old cypress material, right? It's what the installations are built out of. And once something like this gets going, it's really hard to stop.
Now, the cause of that fire is still under investigation. We will, of course, give you that update when we get it.
Okay.
Reporting live in White Castle, Jordan Ponzio, WBRZ News 2.
All right, so yes, this plantation caught fire a couple days ago. People are now blaming Annabelle for the cause of it. There's no, I'm not sure if they, how many days ago actually was this posted? 2 days ago, so let's see if they actually may have found out how did the plantation fire start. Okay, so this is kind of where I was suspecting what could have happened. The Nottoway Plantation Fire, which destroyed the largest antebellum mansion in the South, is believed to have started in a bedroom on the second floor, according to WHSV. While the investigation is ongoing, fire officials suspect the cause was electrical and not arson. Yes, some people were assuming that it could have been arson too. There are a lot of people who do not like these kind of places, and they are not afraid to go out of their way to show that they don't like these kind of places. I mean, we live in a world where statues of historical figures have been ripped apart and destroyed, and I mean, it would not have been a surprise if, let's say, someone just decided, fuck this place, and just decided they wanted to go and do something like that. Not saying that's what happened, I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me. The fire broke out on Thursday, May 15th, to quickly engulf a 53,000 square foot structure. So that piece of history is pretty ruined. And I heard rumors that the owner wants to try to rebuild it, which is going to take years and years and years to make it look exactly the way it was. I have no doubt in my mind. And it's almost not even going to be the same building anymore. So, I mean, it was devastated. Yeah, so this was an electrical problem and not arson. And yeah, like they said, this place is made of old materials. If it were to even catch the smallest ounce of a spark and were to go up, it would probably not even take 10-20 minutes for this place to be incredibly just engulfed in the flames. Annabelle responsible for the Louisiana Plantation House Fire, New Orleans prison break, evil dolls. Oh, she's being blamed for the prison break too? People are actually, oh my god, because she's going on tour now, all this crazy shit's going on. So now they're blaming Annabelle for why these prisoners escaped. That's crazy. With the anticipated release of another Annabelle sequel this year, it's not really an Annabelle sequel, it's more of a Conjuring sequel, the infamous haunted doll has been making the rounds in the U.S., sending social media users into a frenzy. Ryan Daniel Biel, a paranormal expert and co-host of Paranormal State, shared footage of the doll's ongoing tour on TikTok, gathering the attention of millions of viewers. The energy is definitely different here. The New England Society of Psychic Research guys invited me to carry her, and not gonna lie, I was saying the Lord's Prayer the entire time, he stated. Calm down there. Calm down. How many people have gone into contact with this doll and have been insanely injured or killed? Supposedly one, and even then there is no documentation of it ever happening. So take that into consideration, because you actually should take that into consideration. Items such as Annabelle are being displayed throughout the nation by the devils on the Run tour from the Warrens Occult Museum collection in Monroe. One of the Warrens' most well-known case files, Annabelle, served as the inspiration of 3 horror films titled Annabelle, which are the integral component of a broader cinematic universe that started in the 2013 film The Conjuring. The real Annabelle is a more conventional Raggedy Ann doll, but the one in the film is a porcelain doll with a distinctive design. The doll was presented from a mother to her daughter, a nursing student, and the Warren said. According to Sci-Fi, she and her roommate experienced a few unsettling incidences at their apartment before a medium informed them that the doll was possessed by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle who had passed away where the property stood. And I'm sure this kind of information could probably be found if people had done the research, but I do not know if there even was a girl that was named Annabelle. Yeah, I'm going to have to do my research now and actually figure out what apartments they were at. Meanwhile, several netizens reacted to Annabelle's Louisiana and New Orleans tour, with many wondering if the haunted doll was responsible for Louisiana Plantation house fire and New Orleans prison break. The parish Sheriff's Office informed the 11 prisoners deemed armed and dangerous escaped from New Orleans jail on Friday morning. According to the Sheriff's Office, the prisoners were discovered missing at the Orleans Parish Jail during a regular head count around 8:30 a.m. The prisoners are believed to have fled sometime after midnight. Sheriff Susan Hudson described it as a very serious and unacceptable situation during a press conference without describing how they fled. In Louisiana, a former plantation home that was constructed in 1859 was destroyed by fire, damaging most of the historic building. Amid its ongoing tour, Annabelle visited to Louisiana and then San Antonio, Texas. Annabelle comes to Louisiana, a historic home burns down, and 11 inmates escape from jail. Now she's in San Antonio, Texas. Waiting to go home, Annabelle, we don't want your company, one ex-user wrote. So they took the haunted #Annabelle doll to New Orleans and the next day, the Notaway Plantation, one of the most historical, brutal sugar plantations a few miles away, burned to rubble. A second user said on post on X. 3 days ago, they moved Annabelle from one of the most haunted dolls from Monroe, Connecticut, to New Orleans, Louisiana. And now the largest sugarcane plantation in Louisiana burned down and 11 inmates in New Orleans prison escaped. Didn't the Warrens say she should never be moved? A third user asked. Well, you got to keep in mind, too, they've been moving Annabelle for years. And all of a sudden, a bunch of stuff goes wrong in New Orleans and everybody starts freaking out like she had something to do with it. Hands down, bar none, I highly doubt she did. However, these are just speculations and no confirmation has been provided in regards to such claims. No, you can't make those kind of claims anyways. Not know about the prison break, though. I had no idea that they were going to start accusing Annabelle of that. My personal take on this whole matter is probably where you expect it's going to go. And that is, Annabelle has had all this time to cause havoc on people who have doubted her, who have insulted her, who have touched her. Zach Bagans touched her. He's still alive. He's doing well. Most of the people who have touched her and have come in contact with Annabelle are actually very successful people. I have not ever been given any reason besides a bunch of people pretending to be scared of her on camera on why I should be afraid of this doll. That Raggedy Ann doll is probably as threatening as this doll behind me. My Raggedy Ann doll. Because history proves that this doll is truly not something to be threatened by. Just because a couple phone apps go off next to it and say the same thing it says in every other paranormal location that these phone apps say, whether it's shadow, evil, demonic, but nothing ever happens. It's just a phone talking. Nothing ever happens. Nothing. Just a bunch of people who get a little bit spooked and then run out of the building. That's about the extent of what happens in apparently one of these demonic situations anymore. So why should I believe that Annabelle is the cause of a plantation fire? You know how many people have insulted this doll on social media? How many people have insulted and nothing ever happens to them? I have blatantly said on this channel many times that Annabelle has no power. That Annabelle is not as haunted as anybody has claimed they are, and nothing has ever happened to me. Now, I'm just going to go out here on a limb and say that this thing probably, if it was evil, would know everything I'm doing. It would have the power to cause something, right? If Annabelle can have the power to cause harm to somebody driving miles away on a motorcycle and get them in a wreck and killed, then why hasn't this doll attacked me or anybody else who has doubted her on social media. You could make the argument that the devil works in mysterious ways. He doesn't want to make his presence so obvious and yada, yada, yada. You could always go with that, but that to me sounds like a convenient cop-out answer. If this doll really did not like being insulted, then it would have a problem with all of us talking about it. And I have not seen one of us have a serious problem. Maniacs. Bologna on a sandwich. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you buy that this Raggedy Ann doll had something to do with any of this stuff? Let me know your personal opinions down below. Again, this is a place of conversation, not a place of who's right and who's wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments section. I'll certainly see you all next time. Please do take care.
Reactions are nothing new. However, there is one man on a mission who wants to prove the world a fakery. He used to follow all these paranormal shows. Now he's had enough. He is done. Dark thoughts is throwing down, coming after all these paranormal clowns. He is watching, not letting them get away. All these fakers, they're gonna have to pay. Chicken is throwing down, coming after all these paranormal clowns. He's watching, not letting get away. All his fake stars, tearing the fakers apart. He with his heart, no one dare tell him catch me yet, because Jacobs has your back. Yeah, 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 John Starks has your mark. Cut is throwing down.